All right, we should be back in the building. Y'all know what time it is on this Wednesday morning. Hump day up in here. Welcome, y'all. We're looking all crispy and clean on the screen. And you guys know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. And welcome. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of Today. It's the Barely Classy Morning Show. All right, we're just making it into the morning time. I'm your host, ClassE, of patreon.com/ClassEbeats. By the way, the link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment in the chat. We got some interesting news, some breaking news today. We've got the juror, the foreman in the Karen Wright trial, who is calling for the FBI to get involved in what's going on here. It's wild, and I'm surprised he spoke out and said this. We're gonna get into it shortly. We've got Alan Jackson, you know, taking shots at Hank Brennan. He couldn't stand the guy, and he's going to talk about it here shortly. And we've got other news. Diddy trial is coming to an end, and we've got some surprising and shocking updates there. But before we get into it, I got to say what's up to the people, man. Shout out to everybody who's in the building. You know, my awesome, amazing Amy is in here. Did I say Karen, right? Karen Reed. You know what I meant. Amy's in here. We've got Taco Tuesday in the building. Libby22 SC girl. We got Slim Life New Jersey is in here. Kara, of course, in here, does not miss a beat. We've got Valerie is in the building as well. Good to see you. Good morning. Shout out to everyone who's in here. Virginia Wiley's in the building. We've got In Blue back in here as well. Shout out to, oh man, I want to make sure I don't miss any of y'all. D is in the building as well. Good morning. Good to see you, D. We've got Cynthia Hartz is in here. You know, y'all know who Karen Wright is because she don't get it wrong. Shout out to Karen Wright. And good morning to all of you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get right into the show, especially since I'm running a little late this morning, but we still on time. But one thing I do ask, and I beg for on every single live stream, is that you guys like the video on your way in. It's free. It helps the channel continue to grow. It lets the algorithm know that you guys are enjoying the show, and it shares the video and the channel out with more people. So thank you to everybody who has liked the video so far. Over 700 of you liked the video. So thank you all for doing that. If you could take a second, like the video, I appreciate it. And if you're feeling extra generous, you guys could share the video out with more people as well. You know what? I forgot to share the video myself. I've been forgetting to do this lately. So make sure you guys don't be like me. Go and share the video if you're feeling extra generous. I don't ask for much, but I will be begging for likes until my YouTube career is over. All right. So make sure y'all go do that. If you haven't yet, I appreciate everyone that has. Also, we're going to get into it shortly, but I will be reading super chats as we go throughout the show. So thank you to everyone who went the extra mile and sent in some super chats over there as well. A Fitz is in the building. What's up? Good to see you, A Fitz. We've got Angie is in here too. We've got Errol Glee is in the building as well. Good to see everybody in here this morning. How are y'all feeling? How are y'all doing? I know, especially in the South, across the South and Southeast, it has been hot these last couple of days. So let me know where y'all are at and how you're feeling this morning. Hopefully you guys are staying cool out there. I know in SoCal, they're enjoying this type of weather. It's feeling good as well. So let me know how y'all are feeling this morning. Let me shout out a couple people in here who supported early in the show. We've got Kara Hampton in here, said it's hump day with the 5 bomb. We cannot always choose the music life plays, but we can choose how we dance to it. Have a great day on purpose. Go ahead, Kara. I like that one. Thank you, Kara, for always being here and supporting as well. We've got Slim Life New Jersey in the building with the 10 bomb, says, good morning, ClassE, Amy, and my amazing CEB family. Welcome new subs and members. I hope everyone has a blessed day. And remember, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Amen. Thank you for that, Slim Life New Jersey. She says, love you all. Let's get it. Thank you so much for being here as always. And then we've got my awesome, amazing Amy gifting 5 memberships. If you got a membership from Amy, make sure you say thank you. Y'all see Amy in here every single show. She does not miss. Make sure you show her some love. Check out the members only content. And you guys also get instant access to any video that we drop here on the channel. So make sure y'all check out all the member benefits that Amy so graciously gifted. Big shout out to her. We got Young Steppa in here. What are you doing up this early, Young Steppa? Is it like 10:30 where you're at? Dang, he's up super early. Shout out to my dog, Young Steppa, in here becoming a platinum member. Welcome to the member side. I appreciate you. And good morning and shout out to everyone that's in here too. We got Oklahoma in the building, hot and rainy in Michigan. Okay. London in the UK, it's 29. Oh my goodness. Y'all don't have summers over there? What is going on in the UK? Where in the UK are you? That is amazing. It's 61 in the morning where you're at. It's in the 80s in Chicago. Shout out to Chi-Town. What else are y'all saying? We got Virginia in the house. Yeah, we got Georgia, and it is hot. It was actually pretty nice yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it felt good yesterday, but Monday was impossible. LA, and later today it will be in the 90s in some parts. Oh man, Southern California. Well, California is amazing. Where else are y'all saying? We've got some in Northeast Pennsylvania. It's 98 degrees. Oh my goodness. It's cloudy right now in the 841. Okay. Good grief. California's in the building. 29 is hot. Good grief. Oh, that's it. They're using Celsius, not Fahrenheit. I was about to say, what's going on? What is going on in the UK? Yeah, okay. I can make the conversion. Thank y'all for letting me know. What happened? We got an Arctic chill coming through. And then shout out to Amy as well with the 2 bombs. Said it's hot outside, but you're hot. Oh my God. You're hot. Shout out to hot Amy. That man's never going to live that down. He's never going to live down the hot, and he's never going to live down thoughts. Ugh. Fellas, man. Fellas, I got to know from the guys. You ever... I'm not going to ask this question. But if you have to ask, if you have a night with a lovely lady and you guys go your separate ways and you have to text her thoughts with a question mark, you might as well just keep it moving, brother. Just keep it moving. We got Slim Life New Jersey's ready to go to the beach out there in New Jersey. They're cooking out there in New Jersey. I know I think it was over 100 in New Jersey. Shout out to Brian Higgins. She said, what else did I say? Well, oh man. Brian got embarrassed in front of the entire United States and some of the rest of the world. Yeah, fellas, just it's time to move on. If you got to ask, get rid. Yeah. What? That's ultimately cringe. Turn in your man card at that time. Oh, dang. Thoughts? Yikes. And Jay says Brian probably thinks it went well too. Yeah, he was telling his buddies about it. He said, yeah, I know. You know Karen? yeah, I did it. We need to hear Karen's side of the story on that. I mean, I guess we really don't need to hear Karen's side because she ghosted him after that. Dang. Come on, Brian. It's tough out here. All right, let me see what else y'all are saying. Shout out to everybody who's in here. 95 in Mississippi with all the eyes up in there. Amy says, if you ask, you must not be working that much. Oh, man. Everybody ain't got it like that. We all know this. Let's go ahead and get into our first topic. Thank you again to everyone that's liked the video so far. Nearly 800 of you have done that so far. And I appreciate everyone who shared the video as well. So this is the moment we've been waiting for. Alan Jackson finally speaks out. And not only does he speak out and take a strong stance on the court proceedings and defends a lot of the jurors who have been attacked, but he has some shots to take at the prosecution and the Commonwealth in general. We're also going to hear the commissioner finally spoke out as well. I know. We can't believe it. Morrissey had something to say on this, and it's very profound. So you guys make sure you stick around for that. But before we get into Alan Jackson, I wanted to show you guys this video about another juror is coming to the forefront and giving her opinion about what she thought during the trial deliberations and how she felt about Karen Read before the trial even started. Here, let's check this out.
This morning, as Karen Read settles into her new life post-acquittal, more of those who decided her fate now speaking out. One juror saying she had been leaning toward finding Read guilty, but changed her mind.
Wow.
I'm not there to say the defense's story was right or wrong. I think there was things that we saw, things that we heard, the evidence that could have fit that scenario. So again, that's the whole doubt thing.
The jury foreman, asking to stay anonymous, telling the Boston Herald, "We had to look at the evidence, and a lot of it didn't make sense. There was no meat, no aha moment. No one proved there was a collision." Prosecutor,
as one of our favorite guys from the YSL trial said,
so what we have ultimately is that there is no evidence, none.
Absolutely none.
"No meat, no aha moment. No one proved there was a collision." Prosecutors
Shout out
accused
to
Reed
Attorney
of
Adams.
slamming her SUV into her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. But her defense team argued she was framed by police after Reed dropped O'Keefe off at a house party with other members of law enforcement on the night in question. A theory some jurors said they found persuasive.
I think Joe O'Keefe went inside the house and
Shout out to Paula.
something happening there.
But some of those who've come under scrutiny through Reed's defense at trial, like the former Boston police sergeant who owned the house, also now speaking out and continuing to deny any wrongdoing.
There are police officers, EMTs on your front lawn. You're an officer. Why don't you just go outside and investigate or take a look?
That's the most ridiculous question that people always ask. What am I supposed to do? Run out front in my underwear and start running yellow tape around the fire hydrant?
Oh man, guys, I still cannot believe the guy in the same breath said he would take a bullet for John O'Keefe is going to look the mother of John O'Keefe in the eye and say, "Hey lady, what you want me to do? Run outside in my underwear?" Yeah. I'm going to use an extreme example. Those of you that have children, or let's say you have a brother or sister. If your brother or sister or child is laying there in the snow, heck, let's just use his own kids, for example. If one of his kids or his wife were laying there face down in the snow, as a Boston police officer living in Canton, you don't think this guy is going to go out there and start doing something? But hey, it was John O'Keefe. It was just the guy he said he would take a bullet for. What is he supposed to do? He was in his underwear. He was comfortable. Peggy, sorry. John Sr., sorry. I was busy. Get this clown out of here.
Run out front in my underwear and start running yellow tape around the fire hydrant.
As for Reed's family, while relieved the trial is now in the rearview mirror,
Insane.
they acknowledge O'Keefe's death may stay unsolved.
I question that. I struggle with that. I think our family has to make peace with the idea that we may never.
And life will never be the same.
I don't know what will become of our lives. I don't think we'll ever go back to where we were prior to January 29th, 2022.
You got to get out of there.
So Laura, what about
Okay, no, we've heard enough from these wonderful people over at Today. I don't want to hear any more questions that they have. Let's go ahead and see what Alan Jackson had to say now that we heard from yet another juror that said, I was kind of thinking Carrie was going to be guilty, but I saw the evidence as the trial went along and I could not find her guilty of John O'Keefe's death. Well, Alan Jackson has something to say about this as well. Karen Reed attorney Alan Jackson blasts the special prosecutor in new statement. Karen Reed's attorney Alan Jackson issued a lengthy statement on Tuesday blasting special prosecutor Hank Brennan over his egregious breach of prosecutorial ethics after Karen Reed's acquittal in the 2022 death of John O'Keefe. Jackson's critical comments come after Brennan on Monday said that a campaign of intimidation and abuse by the internet by Reed's camp led the jury in her second trial to find her not guilty of second-degree murder and manslaughter. She was convicted of drunk driving. Hey guys, let's put aside the fact that the first jury already said in multiple interviews, and as we can see with the hung jury, that, the murder charge we didn't have an issue with. We knew we were going to acquit her on that. What? That should have already let you know in the first place. Let's just end this thing here. But no, Hank wants to blame it on the media and Karen Reed's camp in this trial when you couldn't get it done the first time. Come on, my guy. Jackson also fired a shot at disgraced Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey for having no interest in seeking justice for John O'Keefe. The jury handed down its verdict last Wednesday after deliberating over 4 days. Jackson first shared his statement with Boston's 25, Ted Daniel. And they have the link to it there. And here's Alan Jackson's full statement. It gets good, guys. What does he say? The jury has spoken, but Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan, in an egregious breach of prosecutorial ethics, has tried to publicly shame and discredit that very jury. For him to attempt to supplant his personal views for that of the jury is a deliberate attempt to save face in the wake of a unanimous rejection of the prosecution's terrible, lacking, disgusting, corrupt case. I added those words in there, but I think AJ would agree. The rules of professional conduct are clear. A prosecutor should support the legitimacy of the justice system and promote public confidence in its operations. Openly attacking a jury's verdict because he disagrees with it undermines the centuries-old edict. Mr. Brennan claims that this investigation was thorough, and he also claims that it was handled with honor and integrity.
What? Stop the cap.
If that were true, the Commonwealth would have uncovered what we, the defense, uncovered. Hidden exculpatory evidence, lies, and perjury by the Commonwealth's own witnesses, cops covering for other cops, a biased and corrupt lead investigator with personal ties to witnesses, and inculpatory and suspicious conduct by a myriad of witnesses. And we could name them all. We won't do that here. You guys know who they are. The only job of an ethical prosecutor is to seek the truth in a just and fair manner. The Commonwealth fell wildly short of that responsibility. Theirs was not an effort to find justice for John O'Keefe. Rather, it was a personal vendetta against Karen Reed and DA Michael Morrissey and its hand-picked prosecutors, and it cost the people of Norfolk County millions. The fact is, Karen Reed is factually innocent, and this case never should have gone to trial in the first place. We agree. This case is a stark reminder that there has been a complete breakdown in what is supposed to be our justice system. Those in power are more interested in protecting themselves than the citizens that they were sworn to protect. Brian, in your underwear. Disgusting. Gallagher not getting the ring camera footage. Proctor, need I say more? The Commonwealth's defamatory public comments ring hollow to the very constituents they are supposed to serve. It is now crystal clear that disgraced DA Michael Morrissey has no interest in actually seeking justice for John O'Keefe by identifying and prosecuting the real killer or killers. You guys on this channel, we did a poll and you said you think it was a team effort. Could be right. The Commonwealth would rather simply condemn the jury and its fair and lawful verdict. We are thankful for the jury's commitment to the truth, and they found their way to a just verdict. But make no mistake, if DA Michael Morrissey had his way, the truth would never have come out in this case. And shout out to TB as well. It would have been lost somewhere in private and deleted conversations that would never have seen the light of day. Corruption like this doesn't happen in isolation. How many innocent people have been railroaded because of failures in our judicial system? We as citizens must demand more of our institutions, and that is the Honorable Attorney Alan Jackson. Well said. And we're going to get into another video to the last point that he made. The people actually standing up, because in the next video, we're going to talk about the foreman. You thought he was done talking. You thought he did a great interview on today. Well, get ready for what's coming up next, because he is going to take it a step further than Alan Jackson did and say, I don't know what was going on in this case. I sat there for week after week after week and saw the evidence, and we need to get the FBI involved. We're going to talk about that in a second. But before we do, let's see what else was said during this. Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally spearheaded the prosecution's effort in Reed's first trial, which ended with the hung jury. Brennan, who replaced him in the Reed trial, said Monday that he is disappointed in the verdict and the fact that he couldn't achieve justice for John O'Keefe and his family. Brennan said that the evidence in the murder case led to only one person. Yeah, you, for bringing this to trial in the first place. After an independent and thorough review of all evidence, I concluded that the evidence led to one person, Brennan said, and only one person. Neither the closed federal investigation nor my independent review led me to identify any other possible suspect or person reasonable for the death of John O'Keefe, Brennan added. Now here's where it gets interesting. Brennan continued, we cannot condone witness abuse, causing participants to worry about their own safety or that of their families. It is my hope that with the verdict, the witnesses and their families will be left alone. The harassment of these innocent victims and family members is deplorable and should never happen again in the case in this Commonwealth. Last week, Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey issued a 4-word statement in response to Reed's verdict. He said, "The jury has spoken." There it is. I never thought I would agree with Michael Morrissey, but I think he got this one right. The jury has spoken. Hank should have left it at that. The jury has spoken. I pray for justice for the family of the O'Keefe and keep it moving. Not this BS about, oh, people feeling intimidated. You don't think the folks who live and the folks who are on the jury in this area are concerned about their well-being when they see how people with the ultimate power, the Boston police, the Canton police, conducted themselves during this trial? That's a story for another day. Either way, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. Shout out to AJ for finally speaking out. And I think it was very, very well said in his response to Hank Brennan's disgusting statement about the jury and their decision. Shout out to the gang in here. I appreciate y'all, man. Their leaders have spoken. They should shut up. Crazy. I think Volin did it, and the whole family plotted a plan to keep him out of trouble. Shout out to Colin. So why did Colin Albert's mom get a Proctor a gift? Ooh. Great jury, restores some faith. I agree. He does look like Pee. Y'all love calling that man Pee Wee. Leave him alone. I think he had enough of Brennan's. You know what? Yep, that was perfect. Absolutely. He looks like Pee Wee with the habit. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was Proctor's wife, if I remember right. We got a couple more super chats in here too. Shout out to Mr. Brown in the building, showing love with the 5 bomb. No comment either. He's just showing some love. Thank you, Mr. Brown. I appreciate you always showing up, continuing to pray for your recovery as well. Thank you for being here. Recently found you. I'm 17 minutes behind. Notice more that your likes come close to matching your views. Never seen that before elsewhere. It's because I be begging. Consequential Delirium. That is quite the name, by the way. Ask the people in the chat. I beg. I ask for one thing and one thing only. I beg and beg and beg and beg and beg that y'all like the video. I don't ask for much else. So if you don't ask, you won't receive. So thank y'all again. I think it is very rare that so many people like the video. And see, we still got more of y'all who are joining, liking the video too. So thank you. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed of begging. It's free, guys. It takes less than a second. Marley Mom said she is like number 887. Thank you for that. It's free. It's free. I've been thinking the same thing. Why would she gift him or her? It's very weird timing. No, it's not. The timing is right on par with what everybody thinks is happening. That's all I'm going to say. All right, I'm going to read a couple more comments and we'll get into our next topic. Y'all are going to love this one. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about the foreman saying that the FBI needs to step in. This is going to be interesting. Just like the video, please tell him, Libby. I question Brennan's integrity and intentions when he said after reviewing all the evidence, the only person who did it was Karen. What? The jury and most who watched the trial know otherwise. Now go get John justice. That's what I'm saying. And the crazy thing is, by his own admission, he could not find one expert that was able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that John O'Keefe was hit by a car. And that's what they base their whole story on. Not only that, we saw the taillight, guys. We saw the video. The taillight wasn't broken. So their theory, you can just take it. It's gone. How could you say that? How? And we're not even going to talk about nobody questioning all the people who were in the house. We're not going to talk about the house not being investigated. We're not going to talk about Chloe missing. We're not going to talk about the house being sold that had been in the family for generations and the garage or the basement just disappearing. What? Come on, Hank. Dang. I think the scariest thing about this whole trial is that, as AJ mentioned, this could be you or me. And we've said it before on this channel. It could be you. It could be me. Wrong place, wrong time. Stupid decision. Completely innocent. And you have to go through this entire process because some delusional prosecutor, whether you want to call him a prosecutor or an attorney turned prosecutor, decides, yeah, you know, I think there's something there. You have a DA that says, oh, yeah, I think there's something there. You have 5 or more people who are going to get on the same page and tell a story that doesn't make sense despite what the evidence shows. And you're going to be stuck 2, 3, God knows how many years waiting to get justice. So sad, man. So sad. And I'm staying on this side of things as much as I can because I do not want to go through this system any more than I already have. Yeah, poor Chloe. Free Chloe, man. Free Chloe, free Randy. Shout out to MFD25 Wife says, love the sound effects. Thank you. The sound effects, they're going to be here, guys. All right, call it what you want. I can't help myself. They're fun. CPE is in the building with the 5 bomb. Thank you so much, CPE. Always showing up and showing support. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the love. Where is Chloe? I don't know. They said they know where Chloe is. They could go find her. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. Wouldn't they check houses nearby as well? Something. Randy needs an accident lawyer. He needs an extreme Akeem. He needs somebody. The Commonwealth should just have taken the loss and kept quiet. Every time they speak, they just keep throwing shade on themselves. It really is poor PR. Yeah, but what's going to happen? You know, think about it. Said this about the YSL trial, right? Fannie Willis was going through a whole bunch of mess. She was under fire for her relationship with Nathan Wade while she was trying to prosecute the Trump case. There were glaring issues with this entire RICO indictment. Not only that, but the way the trial was handled. A judge in Fulton County got recused and removed from that trial. And guess where they at? Right where they were before. It's sad, man. It's sad. We try and make change and we try and push for change. I have the platform here. We talk about it. We go out and we vote. And still, people like this get into these power positions. It's, again, it seems to me, I mean, you can do your part and you can put in the work and you can learn about the people you're putting into office. But at the end of the day, the best thing is just to be a law-abiding citizen. Don't be out here drinking with people you don't know. Definitely don't drink and drive, and pray that things just work out. Notice how Proctor or the McAlberts won't go on unscripted open interviews. Who wants to interview them anyway? I mean, what? I don't, because I'd have to say some things I would probably regret. And I definitely wouldn't be able to drive through Massachusetts anytime soon. And I can't do that because I'm trying to get out there when they retire Tom Brady's jersey and put the statue up. With this case, we can say, let's just ignore this lie or that fabricated evidence. And yet we run smack into new lies, selective prosecution, and even more fabricated evidence. Nothing tied her to a crime. Then she left the scene. I mean, that's pretty much it. ClassE, you should interview Officer Dever. Oh my goodness. again, no. I don't know if I could handle Officer Dever. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this next topic, because I know y'all want to hear about what the foremans had to say, not only about deliberations, but what needs to happen now that this trial is over. He's calling on the FBI to get involved, as he should, because you guys have said this before. Who's going to stop this? Who's going to fix what happened throughout this entire trial? I know you guys are talking about Sandra Birchmore. FBI's involved in that one too. Might as well go ahead and do a clean sweep of Canton. Anyway, the Karen Reed jury foreman appeals to the FBI to reopen the murder investigation. What went down, or what went on in that house in Canton? He wants to know. I think those are great questions by the foreman. The Karen Reed jury foreman, juror number 1, wants the FBI to reopen their probe. Let's talk about it. The jury foreman in the Karen Reed trial is calling on the FBI to rip open the case and start from scratch. I agree. There are so many holes that need to be filled. Okay, all right, relax. Juror number 1 told the Herald Tuesday afternoon, now that the FBI knows Karen Reed is not a suspect, something happened, and multiple jurors feel that way. Juror number 1, who spoke to the Herald exclusively, sorry, I lost my place, Friday, is now urging the FBI to get justice for John O'Keefe. It has already been announced that federal investigators did look into the web of Canton and Boston police connections to the case and did not charge anyone. Maybe that's forthcoming. We'll have to wait and see. But the foreman, who asked that his name be withheld, said that's not good enough. No one local should be involved in the investigation, he said Tuesday. It was lazy police work. Dang! And we should start some type of investigation on what went on in that house. Oh, this man, he is not letting go. Shout out to the foreman. He said the FBI's Boston declined comment on the juror's appeal for a new probe. Well, they need to follow through with this. As the foreman already said, the unforgivable fact that the investigators didn't swarm the house at the murder scene on 34 Fairview Road in Canton during the nor'easter is a glaring red flag in this murder case. Prosecutors accused Reed, 45, of backing up into John O'Keefe, her 46-year-old boyfriend of 2 years, with her SUV, leaving him to freeze and die on the front yard of the Canton home where the pair was supposed to continue the night out after the bars were closed, an early snowing morning of January 29, 2022. All right, shout out to the foreman. Absolutely amazing. They say the juror, a 45-year-old married father of 3, grew up in Boston, says he is haunted by the belief that something went on inside the house. He doesn't want to give up after more than 2 months put into this trial. Shout out to the folks out here doing the right thing. That is absolutely amazing. He said, we need to find justice for John, and his mother needs to get some peace. Wow. This foreman is absolutely amazing. I hope the FBI looks into this. Maybe once things finalize with Sandra Birchmore, we'll start to see more movement there. But it's clear that he's correct. No one who is local should be involved in this. We've got so much denial. To hear Yuri say that the investigation was handled with honor and integrity. How is that possible? You see Hank Brennan saying that the jury, they got it wrong. They were pressured from outside forces. They were pressured from Karen's camp. We've got a trooper who was let go. We've got retired police officers who were telling different stories. Things aren't making sense. You've got Lieutenant Gallagher, who didn't check for the ring camera across the street. There is too much here that needs to be explained. Hopefully the FBI gets involved in this. And I agree with the forum. We need to see something else take place. Now, moving on to a different topic. I didn't want to talk about this, but guys, this is so sad because there are real victims in this entire trial. Obviously, John O'Keefe, he was a victim of whatever happened inside the house, as the foreman said. we have Karen Reed, who was a victim of this legal system or this judicial system, because I don't think it's earned the right to be called the justice system, the judicial system. And then we have John O'Keefe's family, and whatever part Peggy had to play in it with scheming with Carrie and Jen before they talked to the FBI and before they talked to the police, whatever part John Sr. may have here, they still lost another one of their kids. And we have, I don't know if you guys heard about this story, some lady going out in front of their house and seemingly mocking the O'Keefe family after Karen Reed got a not guilty verdict. Check this out.
We told you how Karen Reed supporters were over the moon when she was acquitted of murdering her cop boyfriend. But has this supporter gone too far? The family of Reed's late boyfriend claims she did a happy dance outside their home just to taunt them.
This woman is dancing in the streets. So what she's celebrating? Karen Reed's acquittal, according to the family of Reed's late boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Yep, the Boston police officer's family says this woman did a little jig in front of O'Keefe's parents' home, taunting them after Reed was found.
Disgusting. You can see the justice for John O'Keefe here. That's so sad, man.
A little jig in front of O'Keefe's parents' home, taunting them after Reed was found not guilty of second-degree murder. Karen Reed supporters are literally dancing on his grave, says the family friend who gave Inside Edition the video. This behavior towards a murder victim's family is unconscionable. Karen Reed compounds the pain by refusing to tell her supporters to leave the victim's family alone. Several witnesses from the trial who testified against Reed tell GMA they are being harassed by some of her supporters.
What has happened to all of us, it's just heartbreaking.
What they've done is they've dehumanized us.
Now the special prosecutor in the case is lashing out in a statement today. The harassment of these innocent victims and family members is deplorable. And for John O'Keefe's family, that includes taunts like this.
That's so sad. And allegedly they found the lady who did this. I'm not going to say what her alleged name is, but guys, this is just not, there's nothing that's okay about this. I feel like I have to say it just because I'm on the internet and I don't want to get anything targeted at me. I think everyone in this community is a smart, educated, mature adult, and some things just go without saying. But to see this being done by a grown person is absolutely sad and disgusting and low class. I agree with what y'all are saying. So there's a little bit more to what's going on here. Of course, shout out to TMZ for this. They said Karen Reed supporter harassed the O'Keefe family. Woman busts a move outside the home. I don't want to say supporters because this is just one woman acting this way. John O'Keefe's family says they've continued to be harassed by Karen Reed supporters ever since her acquittal last week on second-degree murder and manslaughter while under the influence. Sources close to the O'Keefe family tell TMZ Reed supporters have been driving by the family's home in Canton, where John's parents and his niece and nephew, he was raising, still live, snapping photos, leaving things at the door. And in one case, even busting out a celebratory dance, as we saw that clown. I don't even know what to call it. That clown do. As you can see, the woman was caught on security footage dancing in the street right outside the O'Keefe's home early Monday morning. Bold move, to say the least. The family just wants to be left alone. But since everyone knows where they live, it's been nonstop. People are showing up, dropping stuff at their door, and making a tough situation even worse. We're told the family's been calling the cops, but folks ignoring the no trespassing signs are usually long gone by the time police show up. We're told a neighbor of the O'Keefes filed a police report today regarding the dancing woman. We reached out to the Canton PD to confirm, but so far, no word back. And as you know, Karen Reed was acquitted Wednesday on all major charges, second-degree murder, manslaughter, while under the influence and leaving the scene of an accident causing injury or death. She was found only guilty of a misdemeanor DUI, and now she's on probation for a year. Sad things to see the O'Keefe family having to deal with this. I know Karen Reed, she's been under the microscope as well. We saw a video of people taking video of her taking out her garbage. So this is going to be a part of it. And honestly, things have never been this way. Guys, let's just be empathetic here. A man is dead. And I don't know if we'll know why. Karen Reed lost somebody she was in a relationship and loved and cared about. His family, his mother, his father, and those two kids, they lost another parent. They lost 3 parents, essentially. Can y'all think about that for a second? Dang, 3 parents these kids lost. So sad to see. Leave them alone. Let them be. I feel like that needed to be said. Unfortunately, we live in a world where there's a lot of nasty people out here. So let me know what y'all think about this. I want to hear what you guys think about the foreman also calling for the FBI. Will the FBI get involved? Let me know in the comments and in the chat what y'all think about that. I can't believe I have to say this. Some people have no empathy like the McAlberts. Well, there's that. They lost 4 because of Jim McKay's lies. Hank read that out in court. He's shameful. Yes, I do feel for them. And people, the only things that should be dropping them off as kindness and love and gifts to help them. But some people make mistakes. She was mentally ill. I know. I feel like I should go out there and leave something nice for them. There's kids involved here, guys. There are 2 kids that have lost 3 parents that are still living there. And they're already going to have to deal with that every day. That's crazy, man. New sub here. I appreciate your coverage. The dancing girl has a mental disease and does this often. What? First of all, thank you for being here. And shout out to the new subscribers and everyone who's dropping by. Disgusting. The gaslighting needs to stop. The Commonwealth lies to the O'Keefe. And they lost Karen by lying to the kids. Oh, dang. Just think, Karen could have been involved this whole time. But that's impossible now because there's a civil lawsuit that was filed against Karen by the O'Keefes, John O'Keefe's estate, Paul, Peggy. And it's in part to do with the kids. I personally think part of that lawsuit that Karen Reed is going to be held liable for is going to be the emotional distress that was caused to Kaylee. The night John passed, or the morning John passed, Karen Reed was upset. Kaylee overheard her saying some things, and then allegedly Karen woke her up. So that's going to be a tough one for Karen. I think eventually she's going to have to pay something for that. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. To be honest, they'll get nothing. She lost all her money defending herself. I don't think she should be held liable for the entire $50,000 and whatever it cost them to go through the process. I think she will probably be held responsible for some of it. If they win, Kaylee won't see the money. It depends. It depends. I would hope and pray the FBI does get involved. Karen was innocent, but the guilty is still out there roaming the streets, and John's family should be reassured that they will find his murderer. I just wish John went home that night. Higgins should have come out and released a statement. I'm guessing if it comes, the McAlberts versus Higgins, they will do the finger pointing at each other. I think it's gonna be Nikki that's gonna break first. If it happens at all. If Higgins were to come out and tell the truth, I think the public would support him against the McAlberts. That might be his only hope, because if the FBI does get involved, somebody's gonna have to say something. There's no way they all just stand 10 toes down and are like, we gotta stick with our story, guys. Ugh, I don't know. One of the kids will crack. No stone should be left unturned until the real killers are brought to justice. John O'Keefe deserves justice, and every PO and LE agency should want this for a fellow officer, unless they did it. Unless they did it, Mbala lady. Because if they did, then they definitely don't want to see justice, because that means they'll be in jail. I love the foreman. I think they need to cut sections under that dried paint in the garage, especially near the crack. They can't. The garage is gone, from what I understand, which is insane. Supposedly Higgins told a drinking buddy that he only pulled the dog off John's arm, but it was Colin and Brian that hit John. What? There's a lot of theories going around. Oh, the garage. Y'all are saying the garage is still there? Okay. Now, I think they accidentally exposed themselves by continuing to lie so shamelessly and aggressively. I mean, how are all of these people keeping their story together? Colin will get in trouble again and snitch to bring down the sentence. Ooh. Part of their conspiracy is to make people feel sorry for them. How many innocent people get off their SIM card? Oh, yes. And destroy their phone. Basement redid, sold below market value. That's what it was. The basement was redid. Why is that? They got new phones. They moved. Chloe's gone. No coincidence to me. I agree, guys. I agree. All right. We're going to make a little bit of a pivot here. As you guys know, we have been covering what was going on with this Diddy trial, and it looks like the Diddy trial is coming to an end, surprisingly. So let me update my headline. We'll go ahead and get into this next part. Again, thank you to all 1,100 of you that have liked the video so far. Wow. We got 1,300 of you in the building. If you're just joining us, guys, I do not ask for much on this show, but you will hear me ad nauseum beg and plead for you guys to like the video. It's free. It's free. That might be the second or third to the last time I asked. Like the video, guys, please. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me double check and make sure I didn't miss anybody in here. And I did. Here we go. We've got another super chat. Shout out to Buzzcat in the building. Says, just recently found you and I absolutely love your view. Thank you so much, Buzzcat. And thank you for the 5-bomb. Appreciate you showing love in here. Thank you to everybody who's just stopping by or joining us. Listen, guys, I know the Karen Reed trial is over, but there's still so much going on from a legal aspect. So much going on the civil side, on the criminal side, that we're going to be covering here on this channel, as well as other news like this we're getting into in a second with the Diddy trial. So make sure you guys stick around. If you haven't yet, like the video, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any time that we go live. All right, let's get into it. So the Diddy trial is coming to a close, and it's interesting to see because it's looking like the feds are making some updates to the indictment. Well, we won't say the indictment because this is fairly new news. So it's looking like there's some updates to the jury instructions, but we're going to get some more clarification here in a second and find out what is actually changing, when the closing arguments are going to take place, and what the jury is actually going to have to deliberate on. Check this out from CBS Morning News.
Turning now to the federal sex trafficking trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. We learned this week he will not take the stand as the trial nears its completion. Drika Duncan has been at the courthouse and is here with an update. Drika, good morning. What's the latest?
Good morning. Yes, I'm back because I've been covering this story for the last 7 weeks. Combs stood up in court and addressed the judge Tuesday. He commended the judge, telling him he was doing a, quote, excellent job. And when the judge asked how Combs was doing, he said he was doing great. Combs said that after discussing with his lawyers, he decided he would not take the stand. His defense rested its case in less than 30 minutes, calling no witnesses.
Wow. Do you guys think that, one, the defense should have called witnesses? I could not believe they weren't calling any witnesses. And two, do you think Diddy should have taken the stand? Give me your answers in the comments in the chat, because I think it could have gone one of two ways. We'll have to see what y'all say.
Rested its case in less than 30 minutes, calling no witnesses. The prosecution, over the course of 6 weeks, called 34 witnesses to the stand, most notably his former partner, Cassie Ventura Fine, who testified for nearly a week. Prosecutors allege Combs coerced Ventura and another ex-girlfriend into drug-fueled freak-offs, also known as hotel nights. The defense has argued all the sexual encounters were consensual. The jury also heard from former employees of Combs. We are now done hearing from the witnesses since the prosecution and defense both rested their case.
Wow. So what happens now?
So next, we are going to look at the jurors. Essentially, they don't have to come into court today because they're handling some legal processes, if you will. But then the judge is expected to issue the instructions to them on Friday, which is when they could start deliberating. But tomorrow is when we're going to hear the closing arguments from both the prosecution and defense.
That must have been quite a moment to hear Sean Combs say to the judge, "You're doing an excellent job."
And that he's doing okay.
Yeah.
Early on in this, I remember he
This is
expressed
tough.
that he was nervous at the very beginning of this trial. He said that out loud. So you never know which way these jurors are
I'd love to see
going
that
to
design
sway in
ready.
And what
terms
they're
of
thinking.
what they believe, what they didn't believe. But a lot of people have been asking me, well, what do you think is going to happen?
Yes.
And we just don't know. So I'm going to leave it to the hands of the
But only
of the
30
jurors.
minutes.
I was one of those people. Jerika walked in. Jerika, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, and there's actually been some updates and changes too, which we're going to get into here shortly, because according to TMZ, not only is the prosecution resting their case, but they're allegedly dropping some of the charges against Diddy. Now, again, I haven't officially confirmed this. Y'all know how TMZ is. Sometimes we're going to verify this as it goes along, but I was surprised to see this update, and we're going to see what actually is being changed here. Diddy prosecutors dropping attempted kidnapping, arson, and certain trafficking charges against Diddy. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching my content on this Diddy trial, when it comes to the trafficking specifically, when it comes to the kidnapping, that has been the biggest question for me. I've asked you guys this multiple times about the trafficking. Is this trafficking? I know trafficking is easy to indict, but was this actually trafficking? It's been tough for me to see the trafficking here. The other stuff, I'm not questioning the DV. I'm not questioning that Diddy, he had some wild things going on, but the trafficking just never made sense to me. Now, let's go ahead and see what TMZ is alleging happened. In a stunning move, the day before closing arguments in Diddy's federal criminal trial in New York, prosecutors have pulled back on some key testimony during the trial. Specifically, attempted kidnapping, attempted arson, and aiding and abetting trafficking, we'll say. What? Prosecutors said in a letter to the judge, because I'm not going to try and say his name, the government is following his honor's instructions to streamline the jury instructions. Let's see what they're working on. The reality, the prosecutors seem to feel they've fallen flat on proving Diddy allegedly kidnapped former employee Capricorn Clark. So that's a win for Diddy. And they say she was taken into a building and given a lie detector test to determine if she stole Diddy's jewelry, and Cassie when she was allegedly held at a London hotel. Interesting. More surprising, prosecutors are not pursuing the attempted arson claim that Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car in a jealous rage. That is a major win for Diddy. This was talked about at length. It was said, yes, Diddy made threats. Yes, Diddy said certain things, but Diddy's DNA wasn't found on anything that was used to burn up Kid Cudi's car, and there was actually a female's DNA that was found in the vehicle. So we don't know what happened there. So they're completely dropping that Kid Cudi. I guess you're gonna have to write a song or an album about it. I don't know. During the trial, prosecutors never directly linked Diddy to the fire. And I think TMZ, specifically Harvey, mentioned this, that there were so many open loops that the prosecution never closed when it came to these stories. They would tell a story and they say, okay, guys, this happened. And they would never point out how it tied to Diddy. They would tell another story. Oh, Diddy did this. He was there and he made this happen. And they would never directly tie it to him. Very interesting. Both these charges relate to the racketeering charge Diddy faces. So it all comes down to RICO. We know these guys love RICO. As for the aiding and abetting trafficking charge, prosecutors don't explain what elements of the trafficking they will 86 from the jury instructions. Prosecutors are not dropping the various trafficking charges, only elements of them, and specifically aiding and abetting. Prosecutors do say in their letter that they want an instruction that just because women like Cassie and Jane Doe gave prior consistent certain acts or intercourse, it doesn't mean that it can never be withdrawn. We are talking about consent. I told you guys at the beginning of this trial, consent is, woof, you do not want to be in court on a consent issue. You'll most likely lose, especially if you're a male. Prosecutors also say jurors should be told just because a woman, Jane Doe, received compensation does not preclude a finding of forced labor, which relates to trafficking. And as for trafficking, prosecutors want jurors to know neither physical restraint of the alleged victims nor commercial acts are required to prove coercion in trafficking. All right, so that's what Diddy's looking at. Let's actually break down this letter from the government. What do they say? Dear Judge, the government respectfully writes regarding its requested edits to the court's proposed jury instructions. The government understands the court's desire to streamline instructions. With that in mind, the government has suggested ways to streamline those instructions. Specifically, the government has removed instructions from the charge relating to attempted kidnapping under both California and New York law, attempted arson under California law, and aiding and abetting trafficking. So they really just want to get him on the RICO, it sounds like. The government is no longer planning to proceed on those theories of liability, so instructions are no longer necessary. The government has also attempted to simplify the language relating to count 1, a proposal as explained in the government's comment bubbles that the government hopes not only serves the purpose of streamlining the instructions, but also will avoid any confusion as to the operative agreement for count 1. Count 1, trafficking and forced labor instruction. What do they say? While the government has taken seriously the court's desire for brevity, the government still strongly believes that certain limited additional instructions on the trafficking and forced labor instructions, which are regularly given in trafficking and forced labor trials in this circuit, are necessary for the jury to adequately understand the law on these charges. Right. So they said there's no there. But we're going to pull back a little bit and make it easy for them to understand. Each of the instructions reflect established case law and are directly relevant to the key issues in the case. Moreover, without such instructions, the government has serious concern that the jury may misunderstand the applicable law on both charges or for both charges, which are extremely complex legal concepts about which jurors may have preconceived mistaken notions. I would love to talk about Joe Tacopina on this because you guys heard him on the TMZ special that we covered where there was a panel with Joe Tacopina, Nancy Grace, and a couple other people talking about this trial. And the biggest thing Joe said is, where is RICO? What are we doing with the RICO here? And now if we're removing a lot of these trafficking, we're removing the aiding and abetting, we're removing arson, we're removing other aspects of this, like the attempted kidnapping. That really, in my opinion, is going to weaken this RICO case. And as a juror, how are you going to look at this? How are you guys going to say one of the most interesting, in my opinion, other than Cassie's testimony, one of the most interesting testimonies during this case was the Kid Cudi testimony. Kid Cudi said, yeah, me and Cassie were kicking it and we were having a good time, and my car blew up. My dog, it had emotional distress. My poor dog. Aww. And you're taking that out. Then you're taking out the aiding, abetting, and of trafficking. Then you're taking out the attempted kidnapping. It's starting to look like maybe was Diddy just targeted for being a freaky dude? I don't know. What are we doing here? So I want to know what y'all would think about this as a juror. If you're seeing the instructions or you're flipping through and you're like, well, wait a second. What happened to that guy's car blowing up? What happened to the aiding and abetting? I thought they really keyed in on that. What are we doing here? I want to know what you guys think about that. We got one more thing I want to look at. Of course, we're going to talk about closing arguments in the Diddy trial. This is going to be interesting. Closing arguments near in the Combs trafficking crimes case. This story contains, okay, well, we know it's going to be graphic. All right. So they're giving us a warning. It'll be good. Diddy's legal fate hangs in the balance as the music mogul's landmark criminal trial nears a close. After more than a month of harrowing testimony from several individuals in Combs' personal and professional orbit, from ex-girlfriends like Cassie and Jane Doe to Danity Kane, Don Richard, and rap peer Kid Cudi, prosecutors rested their case in a sweeping federal crimes case proceedings on June 24th, which was yesterday. In their first round of arguments, attorneys for the U.S. government zeroed in on graphic evidence from Combs' alleged freak-off parties, and they showed all the videos, which included video footage, text messages, and financial records. We heard Cassie over there begging for some of these freak-off. Hey, yo. Said, I want a freak-off. Prosecutors painted a picture of Combs and his employees being personally involved with organizing the elaborate sexual performances, working with escorts, Combs' partners, and others. Cassie was up in there too. Right. Meanwhile, Combs' attorneys rested their case in less than half an hour, with the defense opting not to call any witnesses to the stand. Their arguments mainly focused on romantic and occasionally explicit text between Combs and Ventura Fine, Cassie. Although Combs' alleged abuse is at the center of this trial, which doesn't make sense because this isn't domestic violence isn't even included in this. It's RICO now and trafficking. The Grammy-winning rapper told the court he would not be testifying. All right. The judge asked Combs' lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, I always say his name wrong, apologize, Mark, if he spoke with his client about his right to testify, and he said he discussed it at length. Combs was arrested in September. We know all of that. And now he's not testifying. So let me know what you guys think. If you're seeing these updates as a juror, is this something, nothing, or is it everything? And how would you weigh this when it comes to your deliberation? Let me know in the comments and in the chat. And thank y'all for the love too. I see y'all are showing some major love in here with the super chats as well. We've got, hold on, I got to go back a little bit. Cynthia Hart's in here with the 10 bomb. And the super sticker. Thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate the love. We've also got D is in here. Shout out to D with the €2. I think I got this right, right? No. Those are pounds. Dang. I always mess it up. Those are pounds. Thanks for the £2. And we got Amy in here with the cake. You know, it's almost lunchtime when Amy starts talking about cake. Shout out to Amy, always bringing the cake at lunchtime. Oh man, and shout out to Amy showing love too. I appreciate y'all. Don't be complaining about hot weather, chat. It's gray skies and rain here in Scotland. Oh, shout out to Scotland. Man, we are international on the morning show. Thank you to everyone who's in here and is international as well. What do y'all think about this Diddy situation? I'm interested in it because I heard the rumors from years ago. Okay, y'all are talking about something else. I couldn't get into the Diddy trial. We need some visuals, man. We on YouTube. We got to see something. I'm kind of glad it's coming to an end because I would feel obligated to cover it now that Karen Reed's over. But because it's almost over, we don't have to get into it. These days, a man can be accused of trafficking for taking a female anywhere with them. Yes, it's disgusting. Wife wants to destroy the ex, accuse them decades later of trafficking and assault. What? Boy, consent is scary, guys. Consent is scary. I've heard commercial trafficking and another kind of trafficking. Can't remember the details. I think Higgins is the most guilty, possibly Colin too. Some of those in the house might actually not know what happened. I agree with that as well. Very hard to prove. Which part, Jay? The statement from Yuri alone should have the FBI jumping in immediately. Integrity and honor. Get out of here. I can confirm we have gray skies in Scotland, says Laura H. Julie Grant, a complete joke. Man, y'all still mad at Julie? Let her go. She's just a sore loser, right? Some people are just a sore loser. It is hard to see someone with a major media platform like that try and paint a narrative that there was something else there when all we're doing is looking at the evidence. Can we just look at the evidence and say, yeah, they didn't do a good job showing that Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe. Next. It's not that difficult, guys. Asking for visuals in the Diddy trial could be misunderstood. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, relax. All right, relax. That's not what I meant. Jesus, no, I did not. I'm talking about from the court proceedings. Dang. Yo, don't do me like that. That is insane. You know what? Y'all make me want to end the show now. It's what? You seen the text Cassie's new husband has been sending Diddy? Ugh. I think my guy Dennis Byron, and if y'all haven't checked him out, make sure you check out Dennis Byron over on X, also on YouTube. He has been covering this trial at length and has been doing an excellent job with it. Yeah, make sure y'all go check out what's going on with Dennis Byron. That's my guy right there. We've got Cynthia Hartz in here with the 5 ounces. Thank you, and Amy, for the love and family atmosphere you provide. Thank you for being here, Cynthia. We do try, but sometimes, you know, it gets a little wild in here. We try and keep it a family show, but I do what I can. Wiggins. Shout out to Andrew Wiggins. They were all aware of what happened. They are covering for Colin and Wiggins or Higgins. Oh, man. Yeah, I think the FBI has to get involved on this. Let me actually, you guys want to pivot real quick? Let me see if I could find, because I know Dennis, my guy Dennis was going crazy with posting the receipts about Cassie. And I think Dennis has had a similar take like we've had here. Let me see if I can find these. We're going to pivot a little bit. Family ain't ever perfect. That's the fact. Shout out to Mr. Brown. I know. I get told that all the time. Let me see. Where did Dennis post the text messages? Here we go. New text messages between Cassie Ventura and Sean Combs show Puff confronting Cassie about her banging the trainer he's paying. Banging the trainer he's paying for to the tune of $50,000. He also paid for her friend Carrie. More messages the government didn't want to show the jurors, allegedly. Okay, so who is this? No, we will, no matter what. You've pushed me too far. You already ran the scam on me with Carrie. You pushed me too far. I'm telling you to deal with it. Deal with it, and we don't have a problem. But no, it will be dealt with today. Let me, you, and him get together. I hired him to train you, not to hang out with you and become his friend. Someone is giving me my money back, and y'all can have each other. Dang! Why did you have to do that with someone I was paying for? Anything more than that is disrespectful. And he disrespected me. And then he sent the broken hearts. Dang, Diddy. Diddy has feelings hurt. Oh, Dottie's in the building. What's up, Dottie? I love you. And I appreciate you being here. Diddy like being, oh God. Hey, yo. These are interesting. I think, let me see if Dennis sent some more receipts here. I saw him post a couple more text messages. Oh, here we go. Dennis is on fire, man. He also says, I've seen this movie before. Alex Fine allegedly used his poodle to lure Cassie in. You think it was puppy? He sent her a picture and says, no, you are. We went too far this time. Oh, what is this about? Diddy also says, you wasn't paying for her. I was paying for his cat. I was paying for this cat. And I want all my money back. You're going to let y'all two cornball. You think is what it probably said. You think I'm going to let y'all two cornballs play with me? How are you even comparing the two? I have this man, something, deal with that. You can F whoever you want, but the person I was paying for, dang. So let him know I will be in contact, and I think you address it and give me my money back. If it wasn't about the money I paid him, I would, but it's about how y'all took advantage of me and how I'm everything. I love something. I don't know. It's hard to tell. And we already read those text messages. And for those saying Puff extorted Cassie's mama, this text chain paints a very different picture. Tell your mother and father about it, or I definitely will. I was paying $50K for this ninja, then $18 for you and Carrie. And you effing me both ways. effing foul. I promise you will get nothing good back from your karma. Maybe talking about karma. I was paying for this and you won't even come clean. You are evil. I think he was trying to say karma. I think I just saw something about it on Instagram. I'll forward it to you. You should get your publicist on this. And oh yeah, tell her, send Alex the invoices. And then your friend extorted me. You really got a foul, evil thing going. Or your PIs stay away from me. You go your way and I go mine. No problems. God bless you. For real, I pray your karma don't hit you more than it is now. Cause you a piece of work on the low. Girl, got everyone fooled. Good for you. Hope it continues to work for you. Love number block. Love. You did me so dirty. This is Diddy texting this to Cassie. You did me so dirty. I actually spent $50K on this cat. Are you going to do the right thing and reimburse me? I need to know how you think you and him are going to play me like this. He's giving me back my money himself. Let him know I'm coming for mine. Y'all will not take my money and F me over like I'm a little sucker. Karma, karma, karma. He spelled karma with a C. Cassie says, blocked. Diddy says, do you think that was right? She said, I just told you I didn't, and you're wrong. I've been telling you, and now I'm done. I will handle with him. Are you going to pay me my money back? This is interesting. Diddy says, out of all the foul-ish you have done to me, this takes the cake. You and him need to do the right, he says, and reimburse me, please. I don't want a problem. I just can't be played like this. Out of all the foul-ish you've done to me, this takes the cake. You and him need to do right. Okay, so it's just posted twice. And we already read that one. Wow. What do y'all think about this? Why you all emo and stuff? Have you called him? And Diddy says, because I haven't heard from Puff at all since I spoke to him earlier last night. It always makes me think he's off somewhere getting high. And Dennis says, it's clear from this text exchange with Cassie Ventura and her friend, Puffy had a serious addiction in 2013. I suspect the government's witness today will only reinforce my theory of him being a functional addict, him being Diddy. Wow. This is interesting, man. Shout out to Dennis for putting these out here. So anyway, y'all go check him out. Go show him some love. Dennis Byron is on it, doing great things. All right, let me see what y'all are saying in here real quick. Shout out to Dennis Byron. We've got... Okay, I think I got all the super chats in here. Let me double check and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yep, I sure did. We've got Slim Life New Jersey over on the Cash App. She says, handsome/beautiful tax, no taxes taken for the best YouTubers on here. Thank you so much, Slim Life. I appreciate you. And have fun out there in New Jersey. Hopefully you can get to the beach. I think it'll be a good day for it. All right, y'all. I know it was a shorter show today. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here and get some lunch. Thank you to everybody that supported and contributed. I didn't shout y'all out the last show too. I feel terrible. Big shout out to everyone who went the extra mile and sending super chats. Kara, Slim Life, Young Steppa. We have Mr. Brownie here. CPE. Buzzcat was in the building. Cynthia Hearts. D. Slim Life over on the PayPal. And then, of course, my awesome, amazing Amy in here showing support as well. We're going to be back tomorrow. Y'all know we do not miss a show. We're here every weekday morning. So make sure if you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time that we go live or drop a new video. And if you haven't yet, make sure you like the video on your way out. All right. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your afternoon, an amazing day tomorrow. And as always, you know what to do. Y'all keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We gonna get out of here. Peace. We gone.